Oh yeah! How are we doing, folks? Folks, or should I say soaks? That's right, folks, it's me. Everybody's favorite cool guy, Brett DeMott, here with episode number 1430 of How You Been with Brett DeMott. With me, your host, Brett DeMott. I ain't gonna do the whole thing. I can't do the nickname thing because, as everybody knows, last week I got a cease and desist from Mark Maron, and I ain't gonna make a whole big deal out of it. But I had a conversation with a lawyer this weekend, and let's just say my case is airtight, folks. I ain't stealing IP from WTF just because my logo is very similar, okay? Just because the structure of my podcast is very similar. Just because sometimes I come up with funny little nicknames for my viewers. Just because my attitude is sometimes cranky does not mean that HYB ? Is the same as WTF ? In any way, okay? And you lawyers out there, you can take that to the courthouse, okay? See how I did there? See what I did? Normally people say, take it to the bank. I switched it up because I'm clever and I'm smart and I'm good. Folks, very excited for the show today, okay? I got a good buddy. Well, you know, we were good buddies. Thrillness was the barista at a coffee shop that I used to go to pretty consistently here in town. Don't want to get into why I don't go there that much no more. Maybe we'll get into it with Cam, but hadn't been in a while, hadn't talked to Cam in a while. Good kid, Cam is. Very excited to catch up, see what's been going on in Cam's life. But yeah, you know, I had a big week. Last week, we talked about it. And I started guitar lessons this week. And a lot of people say, Brett, you're not the kind of guy who has the sort of stick-to-itiveness that one might need to learn an instrument. And I say, well, a lot of people aren't as naturally gifted with music as I am. I learned to play the drums on my own, okay? I learned how to play the recorder in 4th grade, all on my own. The teachers would give me lessons, and I would say, talk to the hand, because the mouth is already doing the work that it's supposed to do. So I picked the recorder up so fast, folks, it was ridiculous. So I had my first guitar lesson this week, and I was really excited for it, you know. Wasn't the most highly rated online guitar lesson ever. You know, you got to do it virtually now, so that's another sort of strike against it. But I did okay, I thought. Did I get through the whole first lesson of the class? No. Does anybody ever get through the whole first lesson of anything? I don't think so. I think a lot of people have my perspective, which is the second you start to sort of understand something, you say, I got it, I'll take it from here. And so, Carl, I'm sorry that I cut the lesson short. But I asked you to teach me the 8 chords that I needed to know to learn how to play Outside by Stained and Fred Durst. And then I bounced, okay? And yes, I prorated your rate. Because I only needed 15 minutes. Don't take me that long to pick up 8 chords, my man. I'm sorry. A lot of people say, hey, Brett, you're not just paying for this man's time. You're paying for the years of him learning how to be a good teacher. You're paying for his experience, his sort of lesson plans and the development of those over time. And I say, you think anybody pays me based on all that stuff? No. It's a one-to-one transactional situation every time, okay? Nobody's sitting here thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to pay Brett DeMott 6 times as much as his time is worth because he's used the drill before. I wish that was the way it was. But it's a one-to-one transaction, folks. And again, I know I say a lot of people say things that I don't provide much evidence, but a lot of people have told me that a one-to-one transaction is a good way to describe these types of things. that it does not require more elaboration or anything like that, and all you have to say is it's 1-to-1 and everything's fine. A lot of people have told me that. I talk to a lot of people, folks. We know that. That's what this whole podcast is. I've talked to thousands of people. I've talked to over 1,400 people in the course of this podcast over the last 27 years. We've talked about this. We've gotten through it. So I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Never repeated a single person. Not even once. 1,430 different human beings. But yeah, so this guitar lesson went well. It took 15 minutes. I learned, 8 chords. I learned the E flat. Little did I know, this song, Stained Outside, is tuned down half a step. Which to me was a whole new thing. So this guy tried to teach me how to detune a guitar and all that kind of stuff. I figured it out. And I know the song. Okay, I know the song now and I can play it. So I'm just going to do it. Just to prove, this goes out to Carl, who said I didn't take enough of a lesson to know how to play a full song. I say this to you, Carl. If I don't know enough about guitar to play a whole song, then how the hell am I about to do what I'm about to do? We got an acoustic guitar here. And I think that you'll be able to hear it. I think you could hear it. There, see, that's already a chord that I played. It's already a chord. See, I'm good at this, folks. I'm freaking good at it. I'm freaking good at it, and there's nothing that anybody can say. So here we go. We're going to play a little bit of a song called, I think this is one of the best acoustic guitar songs ever written, okay? And that's excluding, any of the acoustic tracks that Seven Dust put out, any of the acoustic album stuff that System of a Down might have put out, okay? But this is the best pure acoustic song that's ever been released. And you'll probably know it from the live video where Stained played it with Fred Durst live. And it's the first time I ever cried listening to a song, folks. So here it goes. There you go. There's one chord. 2 chords. 3 chords. All right, here we go. And you bring me to my knees again. All the times that I could beg you, please, in vain. All the times that I felt insecure for you, and I leave my burdens at the door. But I'm on the outside, I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors, 'cause inside you're ugly like me. I can see through you, see to the real you. See, folks, I could do this. I could do this all day long. And you can watch my fingers. I know what I'm doing. All the times that I felt like this won't end is for you. And I taste what I could never have it from you. All the times that I've tried my intentions full of pride. I don't remember how this part of the song goes. But I waste more time than anyone. Here we go, everybody. Sing it along with me from home. 'Cause I'm on the outside, I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors. 'Cause inside you're ugly like me. I can see through you, see to the real you. And then they got the, hang on a second. There's a little guitar solo in there that's like something like... So, I don't know, I ain't learned the guitar solo yet. But here, we'll do the chorus one more time. I want to hear everybody singing. Sing so loud that your neighbors can hear you, folks. I'm on the outside, I'm looking in. I can see through you, see your true colors. 'Cause inside you're ugly like me. I can see through you, see to the real you. See, so Carl, I want everybody right now to realize something. Nobody out there knows you better than you. Okay? Nobody out there knows you better than you. I don't care what anybody says. If you think you could do something, you can do it, okay? Was that stained levels of perfect? No. But it'll get there. Next week I'm going to play the song again. I'm going to play that song again every single time I get on this show, just to show you guys how you get better as you practice more. And yeah, I'm going to learn some Seven Dust songs. We're going to see how far down the rabbit hole of learning new metal songs we can go. And yes, I was looking at the chords on an iPad. But I just learned the song, folks, so that's all I can do, okay? That's all I can do. All right, so now that we've proved Carl wrong, which was really all we were looking to do here, let's dip back into the old mailbag. Looks like I got an email update from last week. We got the question last week about about what to do with all the wood from Bree. Looks like I got a follow-up today, so I'll read it real quick. Hi, Brett. Thank you for your response. This is a bit of a lengthy email, folks, so bear with me. Thanks for your response. To answer your question, the shit ton of wood we came upon amounts to around hella. Okay, that's still not 100% clear. We have hella wood. Unfortunately, my lunatic kids saw the wood first. They were kicking their only toy, a deflated soccer ball, okay, in the woods connecting our yard to your yard. Oh, you're Bree from out the back. Oh. Why didn't you just come over and ask me this question? You don't have to send me an email. I get it, social distancing, but you ain't came within 45 feet of me in 2 years, Bree. But since it's going to get cold here in our little town very soon, I've decided to give up my dreams for a 5-star garden, and the moron I'm married to is giving up on his tiki bar stools. We don't need you and the rest of our guests freezing their private areas off out on the deck when y'all come over for extra virgin frozen margaritas. Extra virgin frozen margaritas, you might be asking, what are extra virgin frozen margaritas? That is, of course, a margarita that is made virgin and then made extra virgin by adding a little EVOO. It's just a virgin margarita with a little bit of EVOO in it. When we agreed that the swing set would be too difficult without proper blueprints. Again, another suggestion was being made by my stupid mother-in-law. You know the one, Helen. Oh, yeah, I know Helen. She thinks we should repair the car-sized hole in our living room wall from when I accidentally put the car in drive rather than reverse and drove through our literal home. But that's no fun. A dog mansion for our Shih Tzu, Rufus, it is. Are you planning any fun DIY projects soon? Okay, so to follow up, instead of giving me more information so that I can answer the question, essentially just says, Bree, you might as well just wrote, Brett, you're fucking useless. Your opinion don't matter. Which I can take, okay? People tell me that all the time. They say, Brett, your opinion don't matter. Would have been fine for you to just say that instead of writing 4 paragraphs that eventually just say, Brett, your opinion don't matter. Be direct with me, folks. That's what I want. That's what I want from BB as well. BB and I ain't had a conversation looking each other in the eye in a whole week. A lot of people say that ain't what direct means. You can have a direct conversation without looking each other in the eye. And I say, yeah, but its intent is helped by looking me directly in the eye. I don't know, folks. So, I mean, planning any other fun DIY projects soon? Well, I do at some point gotta redo the back seat in the car. As you guys may remember from a couple months ago, I went camping with a buddy, and we were cooking at the campsite, and we got run up on by a bear. And so we had to pull all of our stuff into the car, and unthinkingly, I put the piping hot camping grill on the back seat of the car, and burned a grill-sized hole into the back seat of the car. So at some point, I am going to have to DIY a new seat cover on the back seat. Also replace the stuffing in it, which was a foam that sort of melted. So we'll figure that out. I bought a big sack of cotton balls and some 300 thread count sheets that I was going to do something with, but I ain't done it yet. But hopefully we'll get to it soon. So that's probably the next big DIY project. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that goes. Maybe take a picture or two. We'll see. And then we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what comes up after that. Who knows? But yeah, folks. Like I said, pool update. Twitch Virtual Bry says pool update. I'll tell you this, the pool's the same as it was. Still just a hole in the ground. It's hard to make a pool, folks. It's hard. It's hard, okay? It's also getting cold out now, so the pool's pointless. So I bought myself 6, 7, 8 months to figure that out. And I'll get there. We'll get a pool. We'll get a pool together at some point. But I'm really excited to get to my guest today, so I'm going to jump to a quick little break, get my guests on the line, and then we'll be back, and we will talk to my good friend Cam Thrillness in just a minute, folks. So just hang tight. I will be right back in just a few short moments. BRB. Oh, yeah, folks. Thanks so much for sticking it out through the break there. Like I said, I'm super excited for my guest today. I haven't talked to Cam in a long time, so it's going to be nice to finally reconnect. So without further ado, we don't do much ado on this show, but we're going to do some ado right now. But not much further. Please welcome my guest for today, Cam Thrillness. Cam!
Oh, hi, Brett. How are you? Hi, Brett.
How you doing, Cam? It's honestly so good to see you. I know it's been quite a while since we had a conversation. I hope you've been good.
Yeah, no, I've been good. I've just been getting into like home roasting and dropping that off and stuff. But no, I've been good. And honestly, like you've been on my list, you know.
Really? I made
Yeah,
it. I
you
made enough of an impression to be on your list of. Actually, before I assume this is a good thing, is this a good list or is this like a list of people that you don't ever want to see again?
No, it's a good list. It's like a list of people who've been on my heart
Okay.
and who I'm ready to sort of I want to let go of like I guess you've been on my list of things to let go of, and
Okay.
I think that that's a good thing
Yeah.
because I feel like that's just me saying this was what happened between Brett and I. That's in the past, and then we because of social distancing, you couldn't come into the store.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't get you couldn't get your latte, hold the espresso,
Mm-hmm.
and I was missing those like casual opportunities to just sort of clear the air
Mm-hmm.
and get us back on, whatever footing we need to be on. It can
Right.
be, hey, we just live in the same town and give each other a nod.
Right. And but nobody wants to have that relationship with anybody. It's so inhumane. It's
Just
not.
a nod.
Yeah, just a nod. I don't want that. You know.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for name checking the drink that I used to always get when I would come into the store. A latte, hold the espresso. Because listen, espresso's a little intense for me. Okay.
Yeah, it is just a steamed milk.
Uh huh.
And but I honored and respected that you didn't want to order it that way. And then, of course, what you preferred in the summertime, which was syrup over cubes, add the water.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it was sort of a fun game of like, what syrup are we talking about? And because we're a third wave coffee place, we don't really have that many syrups. We're
Mm-hmm.
not like, oh, yeah, here's the pumpkin, here's the
Right.
peppermint, here's the vanilla, here's the caramel, here's the butterscotch, here's the hibiscus, here's the lemonade. Like really what I had was just sort of my own pomegranate syrup, which is
Right.
actually just grenadine.
And a lot.
So I basically gave you a Shirley Temple in the summers.
and you're sort of beating around the bush to get at the issue of sort of why
Right.
why things sort of ended the way that they
Right.
did. I have a certain expectation, and call me a stupid American, but you have a certain expectation going into the coffee shop these days that you're going to have something close to a Starbucks, because the in the brain to me Starbucks has become coffee in the same way that Kleenex is all tissues, or
Sure.
Viva is all paper towels, or
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like you associate a specific brand with a specific thing, and you think all the things that sort of are in that same world
So
are that.
this is actually really amazing to me, Brett, because that means that you're pinpointing the moment of us sort of having a cooling to our relationship as being when you came and ordered a peppermint mocha. And I said,
Mhm.
oh, I'm so sorry. We can't do that, Brett, because we don't have peppermint syrup, but I could recommend you on a beautiful single drip Ethiopian that has a chocolatey mouthfeel, and then I can give you an Altoid if that's what you really want. But actually, I think
Well,
that's sort of the
it,
second moment
right.
of what
So
I
my
thought,
reaction to that wasn't the thing that broke the camel's back.
no, that was, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
saying that's when we were like, okay, he doesn't come in here anymore.
Right.
I avert my gaze if we're both buying magazines. But it was for me, the beginning was really when I took sort of a giant social leap,
Mm-hmm.
huge social leap on my part.
Mm-hmm.
And I invited you to my Halloween party.
Right. Which I of course attended with my 3 children and my wife. We had a very fun family costume. Very, very fun.
It was really cute.
Yeah. I was a sunflower. My wife was a sunflower, and then the 3 kids were farmers. Uh,
And I loved it, Brett. But it was sort of a no kids party, which
right.
I told you,
And I kept
and I
saying
said,
they aren't kids today. They're farmers.
and
You
I
ever met a
loved
farmer
that,
that
and
was
I
15, 16? No.
and we were laughing, and I thought we understood, and I said, and then when I thought, oh, we're not actually getting through to each other,
Mm-hmm.
and then I said, well, Brett, if you want to take them trick or treating and have them stop by the Halloween party,
Mm-hmm.
by all means, I'd love to see them. That'd be great. But if you and your wife want to attend the party, your kids can't be there. And then they were there. And I just, I don't want to be held responsible for the fact that one of your children did win and hold the table at beer pong. What I felt was like then it became about me allowing that.
You didn't
Am I
allow
wrong?
nothing. Listen, Listen, if we had to take responsibility of every single thing that happens under our watch, I would be in prison. Okay? I think most people would be, okay? Just because my kid won at beer pong, let me deal with the consequences.
Well, he held the table for, many rounds. And I guess that's a good thing because that means he's ingesting less alcohol. But
in my recollection, he drank one.
I think he drank one. He drank one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was sort of the beginning of like, oh, we don't understand each other's boundaries. I feel that maybe Brett's mad at me that his son had a beer. I felt like that was unsaid.
I'll tell you this. The reason that I was upset is because it didn't feel like my middle kid and my oldest kid were even welcome. My youngest kid was having all the fun at the beer pong table, and nobody else was even talking to my middle kid or my eldest kid, okay? And they're the kids that are almost adults that can almost have a conversation with other adults, but it felt like everybody there was like, all they could think about was like, there shouldn't be children here at this party. There's marijuana being smoked. There's beer being drank. And
this is an adult party where adults want to cut loose and they don't want to feel like they're being a bad example for the children who are there. And maybe worst of all of the kids who are close, because we lose track. Oh, where'd they go? Are they blend? And also, not to mention, costumes make it so confusing.
Yeah, and these costumes, I told you, they were farmers, but you couldn't even make out their faces in these farmer costumes.
No, because you put on that beautiful sort of sun-wrinkled makeup of like, oh, that's a farmer who's been in the field, beat by the sun as they harvest these sunflowers, which I thought was a great touch.
And Cam, let me see. Can I tell you why I did that? Because every time I came into the coffee shop, I was just so impressed by the artistry of what you did, okay? I would sit there and I'd watch you steam my cup of milk and just get the froth just perfect and then do the little dusting of cinnamon on the top. And it looked so nice. And I was like, man, Cam is an artist. Cam is a true artist. Cam will appreciate the effort that the family together went through to sort of do this costume. And then I get there and my mind is just absolutely blown off my head, Cam. My mind is blown off my head.
Well, that sounds like a great Halloween costume. Oh my gosh, Brett, you're warming me up right now, and I'm so happy that we're clearing the air.
Me too, Cam. Because honestly, I've been looking for a good cup of hot milk all over this town for the past few weeks. And honestly, it just doesn't feel like it exists anywhere else. I can't get the milk the way that I like it anywhere else.
Well, you know what the trick is?
What's the trick?
You steam the milk, and the way that you know it's ready, it's reached its perfect temperature for richness and bubble shape, is when you can barely hold your hand to the steamer because it's so hot, and then you hold it 2 seconds longer, Brett.
Okay, so you burn yourself a little bit. Every time you make a cup of steamed milk, you got to burn yourself just a hair.
Just a bit.
In order to make sure that it's good enough to drink.
Really, any steamed product, a cappuccino, a macchiato.
You can use the shortened. You can use the slang. I ain't going to yell about the slang.
A cap, a mac, a lat. But I am so touched that you appreciated the artistry, and then I'm sure it was intimidating to walk into a Halloween party where everyone there is a third wave coffee shop barista.
Yeah.
And you know that those costumes are just breaking the doors off the barn with their creativity and execution. My friend Duncan works on his costumes Jan 1. Jan 1.
I could tell. Wait, was Duncan the guy that was a whole city block?
Yeah.
He was a full city block.
And not just that, he's a specific city block that was historically accurate from 1886 Philadelphia. I could tell you the street, but I think I'd be wrong. So
yeah, no, and listen, maybe I came in a little hot with my conversation with Duncan, but I was blown away. And I think here's what I think actually happened, Cam. I don't think my kid getting a little bit drunk off of one sip of beer from holding the beer pong table was really the issue. I don't think any of that was the issue. I think it's my interpersonal skills, and that's the thing that scares me, Cam. Let me just say, you're not the first person who's come to me with a complaint like this about how I've ruined a social event, or I've allowed a thing to happen that was problematic for them, and they couldn't see past that one thing in order to make amends. So this ain't new for me, Cam.
That's really beautiful to hear you own and open up to, and I feel like you know, I did feel like you weren't hearing or
Mm.
wanting to listen to the words I was saying about please don't bring your children to the actual Halloween party. My goodness, I'd love to see them and give them a candy bar en route, but please don't bring them to the actual party. And then I feel like things were okay. Your family left and the party continued on and it was sort of just like we can get past that.
You're saying
Then when I
I should have brought my youngest home with me. I shouldn't
well
have left
that was
my youngest there alone.
Well, just when he came in and asked for breakfast, I again don't have that many options because I have to open the shop.
Right.
I have to be at the shop at 5:30. Your kid is an early riser.
Yeah.
Here I am, hungover, not afraid to admit it after my Halloween rager, but I got a job to do because I got to open the shop. And your kid comes in and he says, "I need breakfast, but I have dietary restrictions." And I said, "Well, what are they, kiddo? Also, where are your parents and how come you're still here?" But first off, I don't have much in the cupboard, let alone, I want to be sensitive to allergens. I don't want to give your kid anything,
Right.
but I had very little. I had some broccolini, I had some romesco florets.
Perfect breakfast.
I mean, it was tough. And the kid I know that must have given him a gas bomb. Here he is, first beer of his life. We all know that that's a specific type of feeling. And then I'm pumping him for like full of carnivorous gas-inducing vegetables, Brett, and then that weighed on me the whole rest of the weeks. I thought about this poor kid that I sent to his Nov 1 school day full of farts. That's not something I take lightly.
Can I
That's
just
an
say
impressionable kid.
it is? But look, we're years past this. Okay,
We're years past
we're
this.
years
We're years
past it,
this.
and things worked out. Okay, things worked out.
They're
I'll
all
tell you
right.
this. I'll tell you this, Cam. I got the best night of sleep in my entire life that night. Okay, I woke up on Nov 1, and I was like, I ain't never felt this energized, and I couldn't even piece it together because I'll be honest with you, I didn't actually know that my youngest had stayed at your place.
Sure. Now listen, I appreciate that sometimes we put too many boundaries on our kids these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'll own that 100%, but
Yeah.
that seems like negligence, Brett. And I felt like we didn't have enough time to clear the air cuz then November came
Yeah.
and you were coming in not that often cuz I think you felt some of the tension or at least maybe that's
Oh, I
imagined
could
on
feel it. I felt it with my whole heart.
and then you told me, "Hey, I'm coming. I'm going to bring you a turkey tomorrow."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Brett, please don't bring me a turkey tomorrow. I'm actually going home for the holidays. I'm going home for Thanksgiving, and I'll have nowhere to put a full cooked turkey."
And I, of course, said, "What's your home address?" Okay, because I'm riding this out to the end because I need to make amends. And
I
yes,
appreciated that. Yeah, and I saw your good heart, but I was like, this guy is gonna give me a turkey no matter what I say. There's no word I can say to this man where I don't end up with a full bird. And my heart's breaking for you because I see you in my mind using those rusty interpersonal skills, but forging on.
Right.
Like when you see when you see someone and you see your aunt in the kitchen and you think, "Goodness, Sherry, get your knives sharpened because she's hacking away at a melon," and you're like, "You need to have the proper tools." So that's how I felt when you were coming to me about this turkey
you
business.
were like, "This is a good idea, poorly executed,
right?
without any sort of regard for what was going to work for you."
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
I ended up coming back from being gone for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Found a turkey in my apartment. Had been left out. Luckily, it was chilly, so it didn't smell, but I couldn't eat that. I didn't trust it. And my mom calls me and she says a turkey got sent to our house. I suppose it got delayed. So then she's full up on turkey after hosting.
Yeah.
It's the last thing she wants. She wants to eat shrimp for a month. And here she has a turkey at her house. And then I get to the coffee shop and they say, "Cam, there's a turkey at the coffee shop." So, Brett, walk me through how we ended with 3 turkeys.
Well, I think the simplest way to put it is I didn't want to miss you. That's the real truth of it. I didn't want to miss you. You said you were going somewhere, and I needed to get the addresses of everywhere that you could possibly be. And I think we're burying the lead here. I spent almost $200 on 3 25-pound turkeys.
They were gorgeous.
Yeah, and
they were gorgeous.
I slaved over in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry if that wasn't clear. They were cooked. They were cooked turkeys. He did not send a frozen turkey. And again, Brett, here's me doing the math for you. What a sweetheart of a man. And oh, sharpen those knives. That melon's going to give you what for is what I'm seeing. But I also have, 3 sage covered birds that have gone to waste. And that just kind of broke my heart, just that's not really in the spirit of the season. So
Yeah.
for me, by the time we get to peppermint mocha, we are just we're at a ramp that I felt like I didn't know how to turn around.
Mm.
And then I heard you switched to iced tea, and I hadn't seen you in a couple years in a real way.
Yeah, I had to switch to iced tea, obviously, because the milk wasn't doing anything for me anymore.
Sure.
Little did I know that milk does not have caffeine in it. I thought all this time that the thing in the coffee that was giving you the energy was the milk. Turns out it's the coffee, folks.
Right.
So I had to switch to tea because, of course, I hate the taste of coffee.
Right.
So I switched to green tea, and still, I'll tell you this, Cam, I hate the taste of tea. I hate the taste of it. I wish I could get a good syrup in these teas. I wish I could get like a thick peppermint in the tea. And they say, oh, but Brett, there's peppermint tea. You should try peppermint tea. That shit doesn't taste like peppermints. It tastes like cold grass. Okay? That's all tea. Tea just tastes like cold grass.
I'm not going to argue with that, Brett, at all. I think it does taste like cold grass, but I think what tea drinkers think is it isn't that great.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's less about saying no, it doesn't taste like grass to me, and more about saying I like cold grass. If I think about cold grass in a drink, that makes me happy. And I think if you haven't found your drink, continue the quest.
Yeah.
Maybe switch to not frothed milk, just plain milk. Maybe try to wean yourself off caffeine if possible. There's always Jolt gum if you need to just get it in a different way,
Yeah, that's true. I'm already a milk guy. I do drink cold milk in small doses as well. So I tried milk. I like milk. And I'll try a soda here and there. But that stuff, the doctors say that soda ain't good for you. And so I'm trying,
what they say,
and
yeah.
I'm getting older, I know I don't look it, but I'm 55 years old, so I'm at a point in my life where I got to start making healthier choices, Cam. And
I think that that's huge. I think that that's great. I think, everybody could stand to learn to take a little more personal responsibility for their health, and soda pop surely isn't the way. But have you gotten on the seltzer train as a means for sort of patching up that soda addiction? Because if I could just have your ear for a second, and it's maybe hard to get in our parts, but a little bit of a Topo Chico at the end of the night, maybe even with your own slice of lime in there is going to do you just right.
Little flavor in a seltzer. Now,
little flavor in a seltzer.
I've thought about this. I actually was sent some canned water from this company called Liquid Death.
Oh, sure, yeah, I'm familiar with Liquid Death.
They sent me some sparkling waters. And I never thought to put a little flavor in there. Maybe I should try that next time they send me more. I'll put a little bit of maybe a little, mix it with a little OJ, a little Sunny D, or like
why not make a little sparkling OJ, a little foam mimosa.
Foam mimosa. See, this. I like this. I like where we're at here. I really like where we're at here. And see, Cam, why couldn't our conversations at the shop have this tone where it feels like there's give and take? Yes, I'm talking a lot, but it feels like you are giving me something good, and the tone is just like, this is so perfect. This is how bridges are built, Cam. You know what I mean?
I agree, Brett. And if I could say the main reason why they didn't happen in the shop is because I own and run the shop, and you would always come in when we were in the weeds. And you'd sort of say, hey, Cam, I'm still down here at the end of the bar. I'd love to take your thoughts on if I should take a charcoal sketching class or not. And I'd say, oh, Brett, that sounds so great and interesting, but, we're pretty slammed right now. And you always had sort of the knack for finding me right in the moment where I really couldn't talk.
Well, can I tell you why that's the case? Because,
of course.
Because I find that in any business, when you go there at peak hours, you are getting the truest sense of what that business does. Okay.
And I think that that's great if you want to explore our coffee shop's ability to hang with the rush, but it's not good if you're trying to build rapport with me. In fact, I think I told you, hey, Brett, if you want to chat, come anytime after 10.
Yeah, you
You
told me exactly what time to be there. You said I
It's the
usually
doldrums
take a
around here.
15-minute break at 10:15 after the morning rush.
Yeah,
Come
and I'd
back, we'll
love to sit
chat.
with you.
But
Yeah.
10:15 didn't work for me, Cam. You know, I got 3
Yeah.
kids. I had a shift at the hardware store. I mean, I
It's
get
tough.
there. I got to get to the hardware store at 10. Okay? If
Right.
I'm
So
late,
then what are you gonna do?
if I'm late, I get fired. And if I get fired, my wife leaves me. And I'll tell you this, not getting fired, having to sell it to a different guy also made my wife leave me. So it's and I said that, but she hasn't left me. She's back. She's here. We're fine. Everything's good. We're building the bridge. We're building
I
the
love
bridge.
I love that, Brett. You know, and sometimes what I'm hearing right now is that we're just ships in the night, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're two neighbors, we're two fellow citizens on this big blue marble, and sometimes our ships were able to, coast side by side for a little longer,
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to get in that pocket where I felt close enough to invite you to an adults only Halloween party. And then sort of we moved apart. And I do believe that people come into your lives for a reason or a season, and
Mm-hmm.
we might just be. It seems like a lot of our big interactions do have sort of seasonal ties. We might just be season friends. We
Mm.
might just be, oh, that was a great time. I'll
Yeah.
always think fondly, but I don't need you because you don't have a reason to be in my life. Now that
Mm.
sounds harsh, but you currently don't have a reason to be in my life, nor do
Mm.
I think I have one to be in yours. And maybe that reason will pop its head, you know? Come check in with me around Groundhog's Day. We'll see if our reason sees its shadow. Or maybe it'll go back and say, give me 2 more weeks. And maybe we'll live that same day over and over again where we say, oh, if only he hadn't asked for that peppermint mocha, we
Yeah.
could have refilled sooner.
Can I
But
tell you something, Cam? I think you've actually unknowingly really hit the nail on the head in terms of my interpersonal relationships across the board. Because
oh,
in
yeah?
my head, you're friends with everybody. Don't matter. It don't matter if you guys got nothing in common. It doesn't matter if you guys don't even know each other's names. I'm already friends with you. Okay?
Right.
The only person who's currently not my friend is Mark Marin because we're in the midst of a bit of a lawsuit. But otherwise, every person out there is my friend. Okay? And I approach every interaction with the understanding that, I want to get to know that person. I want to know who they are intimately, not intimately like sex or whatever, but just like
Sure.
intimately,
A
like,
closeness.
yeah, close, personal. I want to ask them questions about their life. I want them to ask me questions about my life, definitely. But it's like, I just have that frame of mind, and maybe that's an unreasonable approach to life because not everybody has such open borders, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely an unreasonable approach to life. And I'd go as far as to say that devalues what a friendship is.
Mm,
A friendship is a two-way street that is equally built and earns intimacy over time, and that's
mm,
part of what makes that relationship so meaningful.
mm,
Now, I think it's beautiful to go through the world with an openness that any person could become your friend. But if
mm,
everybody's your friend, Brett, then who's your friend?
mm.
If everybody's your friend,
That's
then who's
true.
your
If
friend?
everybody's your friend, yeah. If everybody's your friend, it's almost like the whole thing that they always say: without the valleys, you don't got the peaks. So it's
That's right.
if everybody in your whole life gets treated the exact same way, and you like them or like sort of want them around just as much, you ain't got enough time for everybody. So you got to
You
prioritize relationships. And see, this is painting a very interesting picture now. Thinking about this critically, this is painting a very interesting picture of my relationship with my wife, BB.
Oh, wow. Well, that's huge. If I could be a new fresh filter or lens for this would be, I mean,
Hmm.
go down that road, my man. Open it up. Look at each tome. Take every little shovel that you got, and let's unearth this. Turn over every stone.
I
Were
mean,
you not making BB enough of a priority in your life? Because everybody was your wife. You
hmm.
know.
When you put it like that, I can't argue with it, okay? Because I prioritize everybody's emotions about the same. And some people would say you don't prioritize anybody's emotions enough. I don't think that's true. I think that may be a side effect of me distributing my emotional capacity amongst too many people. You
Yeah,
know?
you got to think of yourself as a big cup of froth milk.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're giving that cup to every single person, Brett, then everybody's only getting a drop.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're giving it to the people who you've built that relationship
Yeah.
with, then they're getting a good amount of calcium, and
Let
that'll help their
BB
bones.
drink the whole glass.
Sometimes you gotta let BB drink the whole glass.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta give it all to your youngest son. Please, not on the same day that he had all those coniferous vegetables, because that's gonna just add a lot of fuel to that fire. And
Yeah.
I think it's great that anyone can have your milk. Don't get me wrong. That openness is beautiful, and I'd never squish that out of you in 100 million years. But does everyone get that milk every single day the same amount? I don't know if that's the best way.
Here's the question that I posed to you then, because we're getting into it here, Cam. I hope you're okay with going deep with me.
I feel like we're into it, so here we go.
Here's the big question: is it okay to drink your own milk?
Okay, 100% you must drink your own milk.
Okay.
That's, let me remind you, who'd you order it for?
Oh my goodness. Holy shit.
Who'd you even order the milk for? And if your bones are weak, then how can you hold anybody else up? So, you got to make sure you're giving yourself some of the milk, give your relationship some of the milk, give the world some of your milk, but you don't want every bit of milk to be just a drop.
Right.
So, it's
rationing milk. You got to ration your milk.
You got to ration your milk. You're only one man. You're only one man, Brett.
Only one man, and I got a few different mouths that all need a little bit of milk. So I got to think about. I got to do some critical thinking. It's like, okay, I get the cup of milk. How big's the swig that I'm going to take right out of the gate? That's the first choice, and then it's thinking about what's left. It's like, oh, I took a little bit too big of a sip, so I should probably hold back a little bit for somebody else. Okay.
Right.
Oh, I went a little bit. I got a little thirsty.
You got to check in every day. You need to be answering those questions before you raise that cup to your lips. That's not when you get critical. You get critical before you drink it, right, Brett? So that you can say, now, how much do I need today? Not as much. I had a good amount yesterday. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling good. What a great day to give more to others versus, boy, I'm tapped. My hair's falling out and my teeth feel weak. Let me take a big old swig so that I can be in this marathon, not a sprint, Wow. So what we don't want is at the end of the day, the people closest to us to say, got milk, and we say no. So that's what we don't want. And if you're giving me too much milk because you want to know about charcoal sketching and you notice that I did some, then what's left for BB,
Wow. Holy crap, Cam.
Well, I've been wanting. This has been stored up.
Honestly,
you've been on my heart and you've been on my list, and this has been stored up.
Honestly, it honestly makes me feel good, Cam, that you think about me enough to even have the time to formulate this perspective.
Every couple of weeks you've been getting a drop of milk in my mind, and I think I let enough time go by, and I was ready that what we're doing right now is I'm giving you a pretty good cup, and I feel
you're filling me up, Cam.
Well, you're filling me up because what's crazy is actually giving other people milk actually makes you need less milk. I know it sounds crazy, but it ends up working out that way where the more milk you're giving away over time, you might need less milk. Now, you're always going to need those days with a big old swig.
Yeah.
But maybe those days are fewer and fewer the more of the milk you're giving away.
Okay.
Less is more,
And here's a question. Is there any way in your brain that I can just get a whole cow?
Okay, now what I love about that is, first of all, I think it's honoring where it comes from, and I think you could get a whole cow. But what I think about the cow is that's infrastructure, that's support, right? That's community, that's network, that's saying, actually, my whole family has this cow, and now the milk of me, BB, and our 3 children is pooled within the udders of one common milk placement. So now
the relationship's the cow.
The relationship's the cow.
Okay. Okay, I know we're speaking in metaphors here, folks, but this shit's resonating.
I think it tracks. Yeah, I think it tracks. The relationship is the cow.
Yeah, the relationship's the cow.
It's sacred.
Damn, Cam. This is all I ever wanted. When I came in there asking you to talk to me about charcoal sketches, I just wanted to get to know you. And I honestly feel like I got to know you more in the last 25 minutes than I got to know you in the years I went to your coffee shop.
And I'm sure that's true. And again, I wish that timing had ever worked out where you could come where I wasn't just the busiest of bees. But, I'm thrilled that we had this time, and thrilled that you're doing so well, and I'm thrilled that you're ready to drink up, my friend.
Yeah. And Cam, I'll say this. Maybe this conversation is the conversation that needed to happen to make me want to come back into the shop. And I know that the shop ain't open right now, or that it ain't open for in-person service.
That's
but,
right. We're doing coffee roast drop-offs,
Mhm.
and we're doing some virtual DIY latte classes. Well, that could be huge for you.
DIY latte class, Cam, sign me up. Is there a
All right.
website or something, or do I just how about this? I'm gonna be there. Send me the information.
I will send you the
for
information,
the next
and
one.
I'll send you the discount code. All right.
Oh, there's a discount code, dude. My man, Cam, coming through.
Lotta latte.
Love
Lotta
that.
latte.
Lot of lattes, a
2020.
discount code.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, Cam, I'm gonna be honest with you. I had high expectations of this conversation, but this conversation exceeded them beyond my wildest imagination, and I appreciate you more than I ever did before, and in a way that I never thought possible. I didn't ever think that I would be able to get this much out of a conversation with the kid that made my drinks.
Well, happy to do it. Happy to be there for you, Brett. I hope your kids are all right, and
They're doing okay. They're doing okay.
that's
One
great.
one of them is sort of getting over a little like sort of instance of shock. We won't get into it, but they were a little nonverbal for a little while. But they're coming back. They got scared by a ghost and they stopped talking. But they're back. They're on the way. They're on the mend. We'll say.
That's great to hear. And you know what? We all get scared by ghosts, so I think that's honestly a really beautiful universal experience
Yeah.
for your child.
I feel like you'd like the ghost that they got scared by. It was a ghost that I conjured using a Ouija board when I was on a camping trip when I was a teenager named Josephine. Very
Brett,
interesting.
Now you got me furious that you're always there during the rush. Come on. Now you got me furious.
Mm-hmm.
You think I want to only make caps? I'd love to hear about ghost conjuring. This is all right, Brett. Well,
we'll do this again, Cam. We'll do this again, and we'll talk about ghosts.
Great. Sounds good. Good to see you.
Cam,
Fill your cup.
Oh, Cam, it was so good chatting with you, Cam. Thank you so much for being here, and I will definitely chat with you soon, all right?
Sounds good, Brett.
All right. You take it easy, Cam. Okay, folks. That was Cam Thrillness. Now I'm not scared to call Cam a close friend. Okay? A lot of people say, Brett, doesn't seem like you're friends with a lot of people who come on the show. It seems like you have contentious relationships. And I'll say this. At first, yeah, I thought, I was saying, this is scary. This conversation is a little bit frightening because it got a little deep and got a little real. But I feel good in my heart, folks. I feel like I got something out of that conversation that I never expected. And I hope all you folks watching got something out of that conversation that you weren't expecting as well. The relationship's the cow, folks. Drink as much as you need, but save some for the other people. Because the other people in your life need a little bit of milk. Wow. That's something else, huh? That's freaking something else. Folks, I really appreciate you being here. I ain't talked about this in the past. If you like what you're watching here, folks, please follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord. My producer, John, has a Discord. Come through, watch the show. The show's the same time every week now. We're starting at this time now, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and the middle time is the same. You know how to convert the time. But follow the page, subscribe to the channel. The more subscriptions that we get, the more that I can prove to John that this thing's valuable. And also, I'll tell you this, folks. I went into this coffee shop, and I never once gave a tip because I didn't realize that you were supposed to. And I think that it would be really nice if all of us sort of pooled resources to give Cam a huge tip for what Cam just did. Okay? So if you got a couple bucks, there's a donation button down below. You can also type !donate into the chat if you need to get the link. Even if you could just throw in $1, that'll help us pay Cam for all that Cam has done for me over the last, I guess 35 minutes was really where the big change happened, but Cam was a big part of my life for a while. So if you could throw a couple bucks in the pot, that'd be very much appreciated. It'll go straight to Cam and paying Cam for everything they've done. But folks, I think that's about it for me today. Tune in next week, same time, same place, because you're going to see me. I'm going to play Outside by Stained again, and you're going to see that I got better. Also, if you got other request songs for me to learn, you can send them to howyoubenshow@gmail.com. You can also send an email there with any questions, comments, concerns about the show. That's a great resource to get in contact with me, folks, if you got anything to say. But please tune in next week. We'll see if I can enact some of this advice about the whole milk thing that Cam gave me today, and see if we can make things better with BB. See if I can force a little more milk down the old gullet of BB, and see if we can't patch things up a little bit more to eventually both be living in the same house. I, of course, am using the studio, but I can't live in the house. Still living in the storage units. But we'll chat with BB this week and see if we can't get her to drink a little bit of this milk, folks. Truly appreciate everybody stopping by and proving that I'm a better podcast host than Mark Maron. I'll hope all week that you'll show back up next Tuesday, because that's where I'll be as well, folks. Folks and Soaks. Although Soaks is on the line, apparently. Maron says it's too close. Giving your viewers nicknames is weird, he says. It's two on the line, but I'm going to still call you Soaks because that's what I'm comfortable with. But folks, please be here next Tuesday. Got a great guest already booked. John will announce it on Friday. This is the longest outro that this show's ever had, so I'll just cut it short there. Yeah, throw a couple bucks into the pot so that I can pay Cam. And be here next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific for another live episode of How You Been with Brett DeMott. I've been Brett DeMott, and until next time, Brett out.